Hello, good morning again, YouTube. Good morning. Good morning, true believers. This thing has really bothered me. I've got this like big thing on my cheek right here. But good morning again. Good morning again, true believers. I made a video earlier. Please check out the video before this one for the information on the rally in Sacramento. I had just woken up, so I didn't have as much, I really shouldn't make videos right when I wake up, but it was so important to make that video. Start 8, it's about 11:30 a.m. Central Time. I wasn't going to make another video today, guys, but I have to because I was on Facebook, and I was like doing some things on Facebook, responding to some friend requests, and Deb hit me up with some huge bombshell information, so thank you, Deb. And I feel like I was gonna like maybe wait till tomorrow to get this out. However, it's just so important, and I was like, I don't know what kind of state I'll be in tomorrow, how bad everything will be hurting, so I wanted to do it right now. It's your tomorrow right now, come on. You know that song? So I wanted to go ahead, I'm going to read this article, but basically Assange dumps all Wikileaks files as stated during arrest. Here they are. Boom. So he dumped all the rest of the files on Wikileaks. I'm going to go ahead and start reading this article, but first I want to show, because I put out a Julian Assange when he was arrested. I put out a video, and Kara Dodge had a good comment. Says, thanks Kyle, good video. What do you think we can do to help Julian besides just talking about it? And that's a good question. I replied to her. I think my reply was pretty dumb. I was just like, I don't know, Kara. He has a pretty good legal team. For the time being, we just have to follow the situation, report on it, build up support on social media around groups trying to free him. Hashtag free Assange. And then Autumn, thank you Autumn. As always, Autumn is so smart and awesome and beautiful. And she put this YouTube link, Unity4J. Hashtag Unity4J. United in Solidarity for Julian Assange. So I'm going to go ahead subscribe to that. Let's go ahead and subscribe to this. I guess we can go ahead and watch this little video. Yeah, let's see what this little video is all about. But thank you so much, Autumn, for that. And thank you for the question, Kara. I guess this is just a promotion for you. Hashtag Unity4J. So you guys just come and watch that and check out this YouTube page. And I'm sure there's other things like on Facebook and Twitter and things to support Julian Assange. So let's all get involved in those things. And I'm sure some some petitions we can sign, and bigger things are going to come out by people who are really connected to what's going on with him, and they can, kind of lead everybody to how we can support him. He is a hero, and I will say that loud and proud. From where I'm sitting, being hit with integrated systems, directed energy weapons and neuro weapons, and the public not being told about this, and I get made fun of on social media by people who it's not happening to, he's a hero. He's a hero because we have a right to know these secret things that are being kept secret because they're draconian and innocent Americans are being hurt by them. Now, if that weren't the case, and national security was really important for just helping those agencies catch the bad guys and terrorists and stuff like that, it's another story. But the way the world is, Julian Assange is a hero. So let me get back to that article. I've kind of woken up. I wish I had... I'm still getting hit and stuff like that, but I'd woken up like a couple of hours before I did the other video, and I was just did not feel a lot of energy. But that the rally in Sacramento is very, very important. So check out the video before this one to find out about that if you are a targeted individual. Hopefully, some people, some non-targeted individuals will come and watch this video, and then maybe you will be made aware about the problem that targeted individuals face too, in gang stalking and being hit with directed energy weapons and neuroweapons in our homes. Like right now, as I'm making this video, I'm being hit with directed energy weapons like microwaves, external microwaves, and I'm also getting like a stream of energy going to catalysts like on my body and in my body, and maybe implants that are messing with my brain and my nervous system, manipulating and harming the brain and the nervous system. So let's start reading it, guys. I have to put this information out because Deb gave it to me, and I was like, whoa, I went like this. And right when I did that, and I was like thinking, I'm going to make a video on this, my attackers like amped up the high-pitched sound in my ears. And I don't know if it's like they knew that this information is so important or anything like that. I have no idea. It seems like when they don't know, like if I find something and I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a video on that, they're like, they might not know if it's going to be important or something, but they still just go ahead and torture me as hard as they can. They amp things up as kind of, feeding into the psyop factor of the targeting. But it probably is very important information. Also, this is another way that we can help Julian Assange because he's being punished. I mean, his life, I hope it's not destroyed, and I hope that he can have a good life because he is a hero. But another way that we can help him and help what he's done to matter is to take the information that he's risking his life for, that his life has been so screwed up because he's getting it out. We can get that out to the public, and let it help people. Let it help people like targeted individuals, But let's go ahead and I'll start reading it. Assange dumps all Wikileaks files as stated during arrest. Here they are. By Tim Brown, April 13th, 2019. So this was like two days ago. And it's from Freedom Outpost. This is from Freedom Outpost, and I got it. Deb sent me. I don't want to stay on this page because it has some of my contacts on Facebook, but it's from Truthers Exposing Every Evil Deception. So, Truthers Exposing Every Evil Lie / Deception. You can join that group. And so that's she sent me that, and it linked to this article. This is absolutely incredible, and for those who actually do investigative journalism, this is going to be source material for possibly years to come. As co-founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange was arrested and dragged from the Ecuadorian embassy in London. He stated the files would be dumped, and unlike the state-controlled media, you could bank on him following through with what he said. Now, here is the dump. Here's the data dump. All the rest of the files that they have not released on WikiLeaks. Here's the index. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put this link, like I'm going to put the link on the article. I'm going to put this link of the article in the description of my video, but I'll also put, I'm also going to put this in too. Like, I'm going to also put this link in too. I'm just worried that they're going to maybe do something where you can't go to this link anymore. I don't know. It might happen. But look at all the files. Now, before I continue with the article, I want to say it, and then I'm going to say it again after I read the article. The reason why I'm making a video about this and giving you guys the links is we got to look through this stuff. Like, I'm not going to be able to look through all this. There's some people that are a lot better researchers than me, and as a targeted individual, I'm wondering, and I asked Deb, I said, is there anything in these files that he dumped about us? Like about directed energy weapons or the targeting program or gang stalking or anything like that? She doesn't know. Like, her and some people are looking into it, and other people are going through all these files, but we need more people to go through this information and find out what's pertinent to us, to find out. I'm sure it's all very pertinent information, but we need to go through it and know exactly what's in here. So I want to get more people. That's you watching this video. It's you. It's you watching this video. We need to look through this stuff and see if it has anything that can help us as targeted individuals in getting our information out and this happening. I mean, there's just so much. Look at all this. CIA, Al-Qaeda threat, CIA, FBI's Bin Laden statement, CIA studies and intelligence, NRO, Commission for Truth and Friendship, Indonesia, there's just so much stuff. Cuba VE cable, cyber threat summary, demilitarization procedures for Longbow Hellfire, DHS, tons of stuff on DHS Bay Area allocations, DHS casinos, DHS hotels, DHS FBI, IED initiators, DHS FBI terrorist aircon, DHS Golden Guardian, DHS mass psychogenic illness. I mean, holy shit. So this is really important. Like, if my demeanor in this video is not showing you how important this is super important. This is very important. This is like, wow, this is huge. This is huge. So I wanted to put it out. I'm going to finish reading the article, and then we might come back if there's any clues in the article to areas that are very super important. But you got FBI, electronic surveillance of public VoIP. I already found something. That has to do with targeted individuals, and I just like was looking through it. So there's got to be a bunch of stuff in here. FBI, EL, electronic surveillance of public. Let's click on it. Let's go ahead and just click on it. Let's see what's going on here. Of electronic surveillance of public VoIP, electronic surveillance needs for carrier grade voice over packet, so VoIP services. U.S. government restricted for official use on electronic surveillance needs for GGVOP service. It's a lot of information, guys. Surveillance capacity, transmission bandwidth. I'm going to give y'all all these links, and we got to go through this stuff and get it out everywhere. Get it out. If you have a YouTube channel, make a video about this or put it in a link. Put this on Facebook. My attackers are doing the V2K, and they're like, he's lost it. While they're just amping up the high pitched sound to distract me. Okay, so there's lots of stuff in here, guys. I'm not going to go through it on the video, but I am going to give y'all all the links for it, and hopefully they won't change. You got FBI Blagojevic, FBI Ecoterrorism Tactics, FBI Egypt Bio, FBI Extremist Symbols, FBI Military Gangs, FBI Military Nazis, FBI Patriot Act Abuse. Dude, this is like, wow. I mean, this is like, wow, okay? Let's see. Subpoena. Yeah. I don't know about this one. Okay, let's make I hope it still works. Okay, yeah, it still works. So we got to go through this, guys, and we got to go through and see. I looked at directed energy. And non-lethal weapons, but I couldn't find anything. It may be let's see. Let's see if there's anything under non-lethal weapons. But FBI or Ramadan, FBI snipers, FCC, a lot of stuff about the FCC, FEMA, lots of files on FEMA. Gitmo, tons of files on Gitmo. We're gonna want to look at all of those. So there's just a lot of stuff here. But let me look. Let me go down and look for non-lethal weapons here. And don't worry, I'm going to be putting these links in the description box. Nothing with non-lethal weapons is the title for the file. NSA, a lot of stuff on the NSA, system security, NSA spy bases expansions. Public relations chief, Predator drone readout. Man, they can't stop the signal. They can never stop the signal, and the signal is truth. Too many people, this information is going to go out, and their evil will be laid bare. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. There's also a lot of stuff on Scientology, too, in the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force. I'm just not sure what's a lot of stuff on the U.S. Air Force. Okay, let me go back to the article and read it. Let me click on it again. Don't look at my contacts, guys. Okay, so Assange had made it known this was coming as a result of his arrest. Now, once again, he's made good on his word in the face of the U.S. government's threats to criminalize him for something that other press and publishers do all the time. They release information from sources and they're not arrested for it. Even if the source it's a leak and it may be illegal from the source, it's not illegal for journalists to put out that. That's gonna land, the legality of that should land on the person, the source that gave them that information. And that's why Julian Assange kept all of his sources anonymous. So it really is outside of the law. That they're trying to get him on other things besides this, because they can't get him on this, and they did. They arrested him for something else. I'm not even sure what the arrest was for. There was like a hidden warrant, and then the main, I can't remember, but it was something stupid. It's like something little and stupid. Okay, so since Assange has already published the leaks in question, he obviously cannot be stopped from publishing them now. All the government can do is prosecute him criminally for obtaining or publishing the leaks in the first place. Okay, so they are going to prosecute him actually for obtaining or publishing the leaks. I thought they arrested him on a smaller charge. You'd think I would remember because I did a video on it. That's the problem with remote neural manipulation in microwaves of the brain. Obama's Justice Department ultimately concluded that a prosecution of Assange would damage the First Amendment. Their decision effectively meant that Assange was entitled to the same constitutional protections given reporters. Washington Post story about this decision quoted Obama officials who referred to the New York Times problem, i.e. the fact that any precedent set with respect to Assange could be applied to traditional journalistic entities. Trump's, it's killing me not knowing the charge that he was arrested on. I really can't remember, but I gotta look it up right now. It's just because I keep wanting to remember and I can't. Let's see. Assange arrest. So I'll probably have to read the beginning of a New York Times article, and that will really make this video kind of stinky because the New York Times stinks. But we're just trying to get this the surface story from New York Times, so it should be okay. Okay, so Julian Assange arrested in London as U.S. unseals hacking conspiracy indictment. Julian Assange, the founder of Wikileaks, was arrested Thursday at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he had sheltered since 2012. The WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, was arrested on Thursday in London to face a charge in the United States of conspiring to hack into a Pentagon computer network in 2010. Okay, so they did arrest him for that. Bringing to an abrupt end a 7-year saga in which he had holed up in Ecuador's embassy in Britain to avoid capture. The Ecuadorian government suspended the citizenship it had granted Mr. Assange and evicted him on Thursday, clearing the way for his arrest. His host had displayed growing impatience, listing grievances including recent WikiLeaks releases they said interfered with other states' internal affairs and personal discourtesies, like the failure of Mr. Assange to clean the bathroom and look after his cat. Okay, so I just wanted to get that. That was the charge that they arrested him on? I guess, yeah, I guess so. The indictment unsealed Thursday, however, revealed that prosecutors in Northern Virginia had not charged Mr. Assange under the Espionage Act for publishing government secrets. Instead, they charged him with conspiring to commit unlawful computer intrusion based on his alleged agreement to try to help Miss Manning break an encoded portion of passcode that would have permitted her to log on to a classified military network under another user's identity. Okay, so that's the charge that they got him on. Because traditional journalistic activity does not extend to helping a source break a code to gain illicit access to a classified network, the charge appeared to be an attempt by prosecutors to sidestep the potential First Amendment minefield of treating the act of publishing information as a crime. Nevertheless, journalists should still be worried, said Barry Polak, a lawyer for Mr. Assange. Okay, so let's go back to this article. Okay, Trump's Justice Department has reversed course on this decision. When Jeff Sessions first came into office as Attorney General, he said that one of his top priorities would be going after Assange. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, then the director of the CIA, said, "It is time to call out WikiLeaks for what it really is, a non-state, hostile intelligence service often abetted by state actors like Russia." James C. Goodall actually presents a good case for why Julian Assange deserves First Amendment protections. He is a journalist who publishes documents so that the truth will come out. People should appreciate that, including state-controlled useful idiots who oppose what he does. Yet he is a publisher. Given the threat the Justice Department's actions against Assange pose to the First Amendment, why haven't more journalists, press organizations, and editorial boards jumped in to support him? Principally, it is because journalists dislike what he is doing. They don't believe he is a real journalist and therefore do not see him as entitled to the same protections they enjoy. I mean, the information is like way more important than any stories that these scumbag media outlets like report on with the rules of what they can't say and stuff. Seems like journalism to me. Breaking a news story, you have a source that's telling you important information that needs to get to the public. Seems like journalism to me. Hell, I'm a journalist. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I guess I don't know. I guess I've never thought about that, about what I am. And let's not go into that right now. Writing in U.S. News and World Report, for example, Susan Milligan says, "Journalism requires research, balance, and most of all, judgment. Dumping documents, some of them classified, onto a website does not make anyone a journalist. Add to this my own experience of when I was attacked several years ago. I'm sorry, guys, my nose is really itching. My nose is really, really itching. So I'm sorry if that's a trigger for any targeted individuals out there. Add to this my own experience of when I was attacked several years ago by a howling mob of A-list journalists led by the late Morley Safer at a party for my own book, where I said Assange, as a reporter, was entitled to First Amendment rights. He is just a data dumper, I was told, and most everyone there agreed. But he's not just a data dumper. He edited the Manning leaks initially, holding back some material. He may have done the same thing with his other leaks, including the Vault 7 releases. For better or for worse, he seeks out information to be published on his website the way other journalists do for their publications. He is a publisher and is entitled to the same First Amendment protections as any other. Nonetheless, in the eyes of establishment journalists, he remains a dumper, as well as a rapist, a liar, a thief, and a Russian agent. One wonders whether the real reason journalists will not support Assange is that they simply don't get it. They don't understand how a successful prosecution of Assange would threaten their ability to report. I would suggest that the focus of the mainstream press should not be on whether Assange meets the usual definition of a journalist or whether they approve of what he does. That's not the point. The point is that he carries out the functions of a journalist, has First Amendment protections as they do, and should not be prosecuted for what he does. If he is, we are all worse off for it. This is exactly right. And that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I'm glad the article said it. Additionally, as Matt Agorist reported on the book that Assange was holding when arrested and why it is important, Vidal was one of the first public... Okay, so he was holding some book when he was arrested. What was it? Vidal was one of the first public figures to question the motives and wisdom of Lincoln, and he was lambasted for it. Despite bipartisan attacks on all fronts for his critical skepticism of the United States, Vidal's 6-volume American Chronicle series of historical novels about the United States became bestsellers. As the years went on, Vidal became outspoken about the rise of the military-industrial complex and predicted the very situation we find ourselves in today. And I've got to take a look at that. I guess, did Julian Assange have the book American Chronicle on him when he got arrested? I don't know. Okay, I gotta check out this Vidal character. Am I very ignorant for not knowing Vidal's writings? There's just so much stuff out there, you know. USA belongs to a handful of men. Excuse me, guys. And my attacker is like hitting my throat and turning up the V2K and the ringing sound. I guess they do that. They may. I don't want to try and figure it out. It's probably they're just trying to get a reaction, but it's like probably some other people, because I'm going to title this Julian Assange dumps rest of WikiLeaks files, and maybe some non-targeted individuals will come to this video, and if they can make me talk about my targeting the whole time, it can somehow that's thinking too much into it. I'm not going to stop thinking and start doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, actually, after I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the I don't want to get too far off this topic, but you know, I've got to really think about how I'm gonna get to the Sacramento rally, because I was like, okay, I think I can talk to my mom and get a plane ticket and stuff. I think I can do this. And then I walked out into my living room and I looked at my dog and I was like, oh, forgot about her. So I'm going to have to, hopefully my brother will help me on that. But I don't want to get too far off. Let me get back to the right article, not the New York Times article. Here we go. Okay, and let me continue, guys. Sorry I kind of got off track there. Yeah, it didn't show the dew. I try not to show the dew on it when I'm drinking it, because some people might think it's like cabal signaling or something, but it's not. I just really like this drink. Okay. USA belongs to a handful of men who also control the media. Agreed. Look at General Electric. It produces nuclear weapons for the Pentagon and also owns the NBC News cable channel. See, this is good information. And so when people talk about how the media is like controlled, people are like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, blah, blah. No, it's just how things are set up in this pyramidal structure. You have General Electric, which is making nuclear bombs for the Pentagon and also owns NBC. So NBC is not going to report anything that hurts the military-industrial establishment or contractors that are working for the Pentagon and the DoD. See how that works? Dude, they can't stop this information. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. Alright, it produces nuclear weapons for the Pentagon and also owns the NBC News cable channel, which is a very sophisticated sensor apparatus intrinsic to the system. It's genius. It's like an electronic cage around the nation which blocks information from getting through. Gore Vidal. Gore Vidal wrote that. It's a very sophisticated sensor apparatus. It's a sophisticated apparatus. And we've been socially engineered, and I say this a lot, we've been socially engineered to go, we do this one action to get this one result. Like these people, this pyramidal structure that like an oligarchy that runs every country basically, they do things where it's like, hey, we're doing all these angles and working all these angles and doing all this to do all these different angles and to flow into all these different angles. It's not like a one-to-one thing. This company just does this and this company just does that. It's like this huge pyramidal structure where everything is like connected. But that's called a conspiracy theory. So people have been like slapped in the face and said you're a conspiracy theory when you try and figure out how things actually work in the pyramidal structure that is like a global oligarchy going down with leaders in every country, but then there's agencies and oligarchy above all of it. In the book, Assange was pictured holding Vidal. Vidal explained how the United States established the massive military-industrial security complex. I have never read Gore Vidal. I've probably heard information from him or something and just didn't know it. Vidal explained how the United States established the massive military-industrial security complex and the political culture that gave us the imperial presidency. The book was written by Vidal and the Real News Network senior editor Paul J. and New York senior editor Paul J. Dude, seriously, to maybe non-target individuals, this sounds crazy or whatever. Targeted individuals will understand. I'm sure it's probably mostly targeted individuals watching my videos, but they're making my nose itch on the inside of it, and it's annoying me. And I have to like rub it or sniff. I don't. They really are doing. They're doing something in reaction to this. They didn't do anything. Because I was waking up and I felt bad. So I already felt bad when I was making the video about the Sacramento rally, and I was really tired and they were hitting me, but they didn't seem to be attacking me in response of doing the video. But this one, it's like they really responded. Right when I was thinking about doing this video, they got really anxious, so I don't know. Like, I don't really know what that means, but I don't know. These attackers, they do weird stuff. In the book, Assange was pictured. Okay, we already read that. The book was written by Vidal and the Real News Network senior editor Paul J. In it, I'm not gonna go into, because I see what they're doing now. I know what they're doing. On the V2K, the guy was like, the guy's voice was like, "We got it." because they're just trying to make me talk about it on my videos. Um, the book was written by Vidal and the Real News Network senior editor Paul J. In it, the two dissected the apparatus that would eventually facilitate Assange's arrest. Through propaganda and manipulation, the establishment has tricked the masses into accepting their corrupt order as the norm. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to have to keep scratching my nose. Please, it means my nose itches. Both Vidal and Assange knew this. It doesn't actually make any difference whether the president is Republican or Democrat. The genius of the American ruling class is that it has been able to make the people think that they have had something to do with the electing of presidents for 200 years when they've had absolutely nothing to say about the candidates or the policies or the way the country is run. Gore Vidal. I want to read that again. It doesn't actually make any difference whether the president is Republican or Democrat. The genius of the American ruling class is that it has been able to make the people think that they have had something to do with the electing of the presidents for 200 years when they've had absolutely nothing to say about the candidates or the policies or the way the country is run. Gore Vidal was a very smart man from where I'm sitting. Maybe to a lot of, like, because I watch a lot of videos, like kind of not far right wing, but like Republican, kind of middle of the road Republican videos, and they hate Assange. They hate him, and they want him hung up as a traitor. Even though they know about the deep state and all those things and all the they know about a lot of the corrupt things, but I think they don't buy that American citizens are being tortured like targeted individuals say they are. So a lot of mainstream, like, conservatives, not far right wing though, but I watch their videos and they hate Assange, and they really think that there's still a democracy where they can decide as Republicans and conservatives. I do watch some other MSNBC and CNN sometimes, but I mostly, like, on YouTube watch kind of conservative Republican videos. They hate Julian Assange. Both sides. I think both sides do. People that I agree with a lot about how to think about things, and that we should have free speech and our Constitution is important, they hate Julian Assange because they don't know how bad it is. Like, they don't know that it's like American citizens are being tortured in their homes and things like that. They think that's all crazy people. So there's a lot of confusion. Even people that agree somewhat on politics a little bit, some of them are like way off on who to hate because they don't know what's going on. Knowing what I know, Julian Assange is a hero, and I'll say it over and over again. Julian Assange is a hero. My dad would slap me in the face. Like, that's all I can say. My dad's a conservative. He's being targeted by neuroweapons and was almost killed by them. And he, because he watches Fox News, would slap me in the face if I said Julian Assange is a hero. He'd say he's a traitor and our military needs to keep its secrets and all that, blah, blah, blah. Everything's really crazy, Okay, in the book, Vidal explains the false history of the U.S. and how this false history is used to manipulate people into supporting mass murder and corruption. I think everybody should take a sober look at the world around us. I want to start this over. I'm going to start this paragraph over. I think everybody should take a sober look at the world around us. Remember that practically everything that you're told about other countries is untrue. What we're told about ourselves and our great strength and how much we are loved, forget it, wrote Vidal. Forget it. We are an evil empire to other countries. We are the evil villain. We are the Darth Vader, Death Star, evil emperor. That's what the U.S. is worldwide. So you can forget about that and patting on your back and say, oh, the U.S. is a great hero and other countries just love us. They think we're the free Americans and everything like that. They don't. They don't. Because of our actions in other countries, our deceitful actions and our warmongering. It's not to say that regular Americans aren't awesome. And it's time that we stand up like our forefathers did and stood for something awesome. And stood for something awesome instead of what our these secret agencies and all these contractors are doing, which we would not agree with if we were told about. That's what targeted individuals are, guys. They're people that we haven't been told about the secrets, the terrible secrets of torture and experimentation. It's just been done to us. So we look at the leadership of our country and we're disgusted. Like, some people are living in a dream world in America, and they're good Americans, but they're living in a dream world. They're living in a dream world where they think our leadership is moral. Now, I'm not saying anything about President Trump. He's not the leader. Like, he's kind of a for show thing. Like, he does some things domestically and foreignly, so he is technically the leader of the United States of America, but he doesn't have the power. The Pentagon and the DOD and our military industrial and all these corporations, they have the power in our country. So they're the leaders, not by vote. We didn't vote them in. Okay, our strength is there, but it's the kind of strength that blows off your hand while you hold up the grenada. It's a suicidal strength as well as a murderous one. I agree with that. Although Vidal died before realizing the plight of Julian Assange and the attack on the freedom of the press that it represents, he saw it coming decades in advance. Many of these documents that Wikileaks has dumped have exposed the crimes of our own government, individuals inside it, and other governments as well. And many in the media and the same government wanted to see Assange assassinated and said so. There were Congress people. There were representatives and senators who said that he should be assassinated. Boy. If the people could only see the tyranny they are under, they would recognize that he has provided gifts of truth that could be used to topple the criminals in D.C. As Assange reminded people, if wars can be started by lies, they can be stopped with the truth. Oh, how wonderful that sounds. Wonderful that sounds. I want to read it again. Let me read it again. As Assange reminded people, if wars can be started with lies, they can be stopped with the truth. Yeah. Yes. Sadly, they are too wrapped up in political idolatry to demand that their team's jersey wear do the right thing and start prosecuting the actual criminals in our government rather than the messenger who has exposed them. Right on. Update. Some have said that these are old files and not the document dump promised. I have been unable to confirm this as of yet. However, there's no doubt that much of this clearly implicates a lot of corruption, not only in the U.S., but the world. Article posted with permissions of the Sons of Liberty. Don't forget to like Freedom Outpost on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. You can also get Freedom Outpost delivered to your Amazon Kindle device here. Okay, so some people have said that these documents are not the document dump promised. So let's see, guys. Let's look through it and let's see. I'm going to put both of these links in the description of the video. I don't know, because I only got, like, I go to WikiLeaks and I look up like non-lethal weapons markets and stuff like that. So everything I go through WikiLeaks and look at it, and I don't recognize any of these, but I have not. I've really gotten information about WikiLeaks from other people, you know, things that are important to targeted individuals and non-consensual harassment and things like that. I've gotten those, but I've never gone through the WikiLeaks files like this in this way, the ones that have already been dumped. So I think that's about it, guys. I just want to give y'all access to. I would say they're new, because I'm sure, like, when Julian Assange was arrested, he had a plan for a new data dump. But let's check it out. Let's check it out and make sure there's not anything new about targeted individuals, directed energy weapons, neuro weapons, any kind of surveillance. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff about surveillance, but anything directly about individuals being surveilled in their homes for certain reasons. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to say or go through. This is one way that I think that we can help them out, though, just staying on top of the story. And also, please go to go to this Unity4J, and then we can see more about how to help him. Let's go ahead and watch the rest of this videos. Justice for Julian. Free Assange. Hashtag Free Assange. Oh, hold on. Every time we witness an injustice and do not act, we train our character to be passive in its presence and thereby eventually lose all ability to defend ourselves and those we love. Julian Assange. Let me read that again because it's very important and this man understands. He's risked everything. He's risked everything to get information out that the public does need. Me sitting here as an American citizen that has committed no crimes, and I've never even had a criminal thought in my head, being hit with directed energy weapons and remote neuro weapons, and my family being targeted. Let me read this again. Every time we witness an injustice and do not act, we train our character to be passive in its presence and thereby eventually lose all ability to defend ourselves and those we love. Julian Assange. And that could not be a truer statement. That could not be a truer statement. Our country and every other country where people are putting their heads down and looking the other way with all this draconian, tyrannical mess and people being tortured and terrorized and harassed in their homes and other awful, awful things being done to other countries and other countries doing terrible things to their own citizens, it makes spineless cowards of us all. It makes us more controllable and more evil, and then the top can do more evil things. The time to act is now. The time to act is come and gone, but if it isn't now, if you haven't acted up until now, now's the time. And that man acted. That man acted. That's somebody, and everybody else who wants to look down at their shoes, and I'm talking about our Congress people and people in our country. They look down at their shoes and they, oh, that Julian Assange, oh, he's treasonous and whatever. He's treasonous, and they don't even know. They don't even know what he did. He's a hero. And we're going to get this information out that he's put out through WikiLeaks. We'll just keep getting it out more and more. And I'm going to go ahead and subscribe. Didn't I already subscribe to it? Well, I'm going to go ahead and subscribe. Is that Susie Dawson? Okay, let's watch this. What we can do to help free Assange.
There are so many people in chat asking what they can do. Well, I'm going to show you what Christine Assange wants us to do.
And if you guys don't know, that's Susie Dawson. She's a targeted individual. So she's being hit with directed energy weapons and neuro weapons. She had to flee to Russia. And she's a big, not a proponent of Assange. And she finds WikiLeaks invaluable, which it is. And she's the person who I saw an interview between her and Romola D, and that's why I ended up going to WikiLeaks and searching out non-lethal weapons, because she was the one who directed me there. She is awesome. She is strong.
She is asking that you follow at Wikileaks on Twitter, that you follow at Defend Assange on Twitter. Those two accounts will have the most credible information, along with Christine herself, who you can follow at Assange Mrs. MRS, Assange MRS. She's asking that you attend rallies. She's saying, please attend all of the UK court hearings relating to Julian's situation and show your support. She's asking for you to organise and to attend global rallies. She says that we must pressure our politicians wherever we are in the world to demand no US extradition and to abide by the UN decisions. She asks that we monitor the mainstream media and correct their disinformation with facts, and that we donate to the WikiLeaks Legal Defence Fund at defend.wikileaks.org. And you can find that information also on her Twitter account. So that's really important. We need to fund this fight as well as to fight the fight. And you can do that at Courage Found, at the Courage Foundation, which is at Courage Found on Twitter, and at Defend Assange, the official legal Twitter account for Julian's legal team.
It's going to be a legal fight, so they need the money. It's going to be a big fight.
Absolutely.
Well, let me tell you from experience that
Yes.
you will not get justice without significant funding. So the thing that I would put at the very top of the list right now is for everyone who's watching right now, go to the page where you can donate to WikiLeaks and send whatever you can to the defense fund and the legal team of Julian Assange, because they will need that oxygen to fight a multi-year battle, and in multiple jurisdictions as well. And the other,
Yeah, because I mean, there are going to be like pretty much military industrial complex like lawyers from the United States like dealing with this, or Department of Justice, but high up lawyers. You know, it's going to be like military, like and not like trained in military stuff lawyers, but lawyers that work for like the military industrial complex. Big clout. Like it's going to be probably the best lawyers in the United States trying to get him extradited here. The best evil lawyers.
other reason why the Sweden case is back alive is because they know it's going to cost Julian Assange even more. It's a multi-front war against Julian. He will have to defend against the action from Sweden, he will have to defend against the actions from the US, and even try and take action in the US
Isn't
itself.
this what we see in the world?
Isn't
this what we see in the world, guys? Somebody who is a hero and he did the right thing to what? What was he doing? To give power to the people, to give real power and safety to citizens around the world. And they're going to try and hang this dude from his feet, and even worse. And he tried to give real power. And those people that he tried to give, a lot of those people who he tried to give real power to, they hate him because of lies. I'm getting a bunch of Facebook messages. Hold on, let me click out of my Facebook. All right, I'll just go ahead and this will kind of finish it up, guys.
The courts in the UK. So the number one priority right now is to get money to his legal team. Anything that you can spare, please donate to WikiLeaks.
Alright guys, thank you so much, Autumn. Thank you for that link, so we can get this information out. Come to hashtag Unity4J on YouTube to find out more ways that we can help him. And I'm gonna do kind of what I'm doing right now with my YouTube channel and just get out all this information. I think that can help. Alright guys, I think that's it for this video. I didn't even plan on making another video today, but when Deb sent me that, I was just like, I have to make a video on that, And so I'm gonna make sure to put in the description. I'm gonna put these two links in. I'm gonna put the link for the article I'm going to put the link for the article with the link in the actual index in it. But you can always click on that first, you can click on this, click here to view the massive document dump from WikiLeaks. And I'm going to put both of those in the description of the video. Alright guys, I love y'all. Let's keep fighting. And also watch if you haven't watched the video before this one, please watch the video before this one because I go over the rally in Sacramento for targeted individuals. Alright guys, I love y'all so much, and I will definitely see you on the next one.